Okay, what's up, guys? So, I was attacked by a bunch of autistic people about a month ago. So, I've been sitting on this, making this video for a while, but let's just get right into it. So, here's an autistic person who goes by the name Venus's Own Natlan. So, in this comment, this autistic person um, claims that psychopathic people are actually good for society. So let's just read the comment here. Bestie, hate to be the one to break it to you, but there are so many great minds that were autistic because autism, in my humble opinion, is more good than bad. No, that's not true. Um, in fact, some of the worst human beings to ever exist were actually autistic people. Adam Lanza was autistic and he murdered children at a school. Okay, these were little kids. And the reason why he did it was in large part due to the fact that he was autistic. Okay. Now, I know that people are going to have a knee jerk reaction saying, oh, no, not all autistic people go around killing people. Yes, that's true. However, in this particular case, this individual would not have killed children if not for the fact that he was autistic. Okay, so autism contributed, while it was not solely responsible, it greatly contributed to his motivations for wanting to kill children. Now, why autism can contribute to something like that? We can have an interesting discussion about how that contributes to the desire to kill children. I believe it has to do with a lack of a desire for having a social life, but an inability to satiate that desire, due in large part to his autism. However, it is indisputable that the motivations for killing children without political motive, and that is very, very important, is driven in large part by autism. Okay, people don't murder kids outside of political reasons. Terrorists absolutely will kill kids for political goals. However, people who are not politically motivated, and Adam Lanza was not politically motivated. People who are not politically motivated do not kill kids for no reason. Okay, only autistic people do that. Okay, every single instance where there was a mass murder of children in public schools, like what happened recently in Uvalde, always are because that individual was autistic. I don't believe autism was solely responsible for those motivations. However, it greatly contributed to those motivations. Normal people don't kill children for no reason outside of political reasons. So no, autistic people are more good than bad. No, that's totally wrong. That is totally wrong. Killing children is not good. Okay, especially since many of the things that make life as an autistic harder are because the world has an ableist structure. No, the reason why many of the things in life as an autistic person are harder is because you are deficient in many ways. And I know that's offensive to you, but I don't care. You've been coddled your entire life, Venus's own Natlan. Okay? You've been deluding yourself thinking that you're normal and you're not. And it needs to be said. I was trying to be as respectful as possible, but dealing with these honestly disgusting human beings who are trying to say autism is more good than bad and autistic people are great when they murder kids, that's offensive to me. So obviously coddling them and trying to be respectful to them doesn't work because they're disrespectful to everyone else and they want to lie and gaslight people into thinking that autistic people are some of the greatest human beings in the world. Oh, I guess Adam Lanza is one of your heroes then? You think he's a great guy? No, he's not. He's a scumbag. He's a piece of shit. If the world were made by autistics, it would be great. No, hell no. I don't want people like Adam Lanza who murders children I don't want to live in a world with people like him. No, thank you. Can I say for sure it would be better? Uh, Adam Lanza, enough said. No, because it hasn't happened. Yeah, Adam Lanza, enough said. Can I say I wish everyone were autistic? No, because unlike some people, I think that neurodiversity is in fact a good thing in that making everyone autistic, much like making everyone allistic, That's a euphemism for normal, is eugenics. Okay, so this guy doesn't know what eugenics means, by the way. You can look that up. But this guy uses words without understanding their meaning. So he uses a euphemism. He calls it neurodiversity. So neurodiversity is a euphemism that this dumbass uses because he doesn't like the word normal. Or excuse me. So neurodiversity is a euphemism for mental disease. Okay. So he uses the other word allistic as a euphemism for normal. And then he uses neurodiversity as a euphemism for mental disease. So he is in effect saying that sociopathy and psychopathy, mental diseases which contribute to serial killers, is actually a good thing for society. So he thinks that serial killers are a great thing for society, and spree shooters who murder children, murder little kids, innocent little kids, is good for society. What a disgusting person this person is. Venus's Own Natlan. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying such disgusting, abominable shit. Okay, and I don't give a fuck about respecting people who try to say that people who murder kids or serial killers are actually good for society. Fuck you. That's disgusting. Like, I can't tell you how abhorrent, how disgusting, how depraved this comment is when you dissect it and you reveal what it is really saying. Okay. So there's some more comments that I want to get into. I'm not even sure if I'm going to talk about all of them, but let me bring up at least a few more since I'm on a roll here. But I don't think I need to go through all of them. All right, so this is that moron again, making more dumbass arguments, which reveals its own stupidity. Look at this run-on sentence. Holy shit. This guy is so diseased of the mind that it writes a whole essay because of how butthurt. And then he tries to then defend murderers who kill children and serial killers using euphemisms like neurodiversity for mental illness. All right. Yes, nothing like an autist. Again, he means normal. So I'm just going to say, nothing like a normal person telling an autist that their feelings about what is or isn't ableist / harmful for autistics isn't valid because they think it's not. So you're saying that no one else except you and other autistic people are allowed to speak. So you're an enemy of free speech then. That's not how it works in the free society. Anyone gets to have a voice. If you think you can silence other people just because you don't like what they say, you should move to Saudi Arabia because you're obviously an enemy of free speech. This video is incredibly ableist. No, it's not. Just because someone disagrees with you or points out that there's harm involved and correlated with autism, like for example, Adam Lanza murdering kids, that doesn't make them ableist. You people like this who are so stupid and can't formulate cogent arguments just label anyone who disagrees with them as an ableist or some kind of ist because they don't know how to make a cogent argument. Shows profound blah blah blah. The fact he doesn't want autism to be normalized should be a red flag immediately. Of course it shouldn't be normalized. No, murdering children should never be normalized. No. Autism demonstrably is harmful. It is, in fact, a mental disease. It's an abnormality. And I get it. You don't want to think that you're abnormal. But sorry, murdering children is absolutely abnormal. That is never a good thing. Special needs is harmful because it should be normal to accommodate autists. No, it shouldn't. Absolutely not. It is never normal to accommodate someone with a mental disease. When you have severe mental problems that manifest as harms both to yourself and to other people, we have to do special things to accommodate you because you are incapable of comporting yourself normally. Okay? And guess what? The whole world doesn't revolve around you, you narcissist. Okay? You think you're the only one who has some kind of disability? Fuck you. There are people who are born with no arms and no legs and they don't bitch like you do. You're the biggest fucking whiner on the planet. Such a hypersensitive bitch. And to address your points about sociopaths, I do think they should be considered normal. Oh, great, here we go. So people who lack empathy for others, that lack that crucial emotion of empathy, and which greatly contributes to serial killers. This fucking moron thinks that should be considered normal. Because neurodiversity, again, using this as a euphemism, I'm not even going to say neurodiversity because mental disease is normal. No, it's not. Mental disease is a disease, you idiot. As long as they aren't harming others, it's fine. Here comes the qualifier. The reason why we call these things mental diseases is because it necessarily entails harm. Yeah, killing kids. Guess what? That's harm, you fucking moron. Neurodiversity occurs. Oh, Jesus. Mental disease occurs naturally and is simply a collection of neurological traits that people like you decide were worse. Yeah, killing kids. Yeah, that's worse. I would say definitely. Traits associated with autism, blah blah blah, and other disorders occur in people without those disorders because we are normal. No, you're not normal. Killing kids is not normal. Adam Lanza was not normal. His autism greatly contributed to him killing kids, just like psychopathy greatly contributes to someone becoming a serial killer. Oh, but not autistic people murder kids. Yeah, not all psychopaths are serial killers either. That doesn't change the fact that that mental disease contributes to that behavior. Normal people do not murder kids without political motive. Okay, the only times you ever see that happening is when they're politically motivated. That's it. We just have greater clusters of biological blah blah blah. Then he's trying to do some psychobabble when he's not a psychiatrist and has no idea what he's talking about. The way you say Mark is romanticizing autism and that autism isn't a good thing and that bad behavior manifests because of autism is gross gives me the blah blah blah. I'm offended. Wah 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 wah. Autism does not make us look for the worst. Absolutely, it does. Autism doesn't make us look for the worst. Of course, look at this guy's rants. He is so vindictive and angry. He is vicious and like the venom is spewing from this guy and every comment he makes. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of this paragraph because he's whining and bitching so much. Yeah, absolutely, autism makes you look for the worst. You're a contrarian. Autistic people rarely ever budge from their positions. They will adamantly be steadfast in their positions because they are unwilling to ever consider anyone else's opinion. They can't ever be wrong, and everyone else who disagrees with them is always some kind of bigot or ableist, according to idiots like this. Are there autistic traits that make my life harder? Yes, but most of these wouldn't be issues if we didn't live in an ableist society that make it harder for me to exist. No, no, we don't live in an ableist society. In fact, there's tremendous protections for disabled people. The thing is that you aren't the only disabled person in society. Okay, you are an incredible narcissist. The world does not revolve around you. All right. There could be a person who has no arms and no legs, and that person if he were as dumb as this person is, could say, "Oh, well, my life would have been perfect if everyone waited on me hand and foot." Oh, guess what? Well, the reason why they don't do that is because the world doesn't revolve around you. You're not the only person on the planet, but autistic people often believe that they are the only mind in the universe. Oftentimes, they are solipsists. They think they are so narcissistic that they don't think anyone else exists except for them. That's what they're like. And so anyone else's opinion is invalid. That just shows you just how autistic people process information and how their uh, mental illness manifests as demonstrable harm and how they are so combative and aggressive with other people. There's nothing wrong with me for being autistic. Absolutely, there is. You've been demonstrating it this entire time. It doesn't make me a worse person like you seem to believe. It absolutely does when you try to normalize it. When you try to normalize people like Adam Lanza who murder kids, and you try to use euphemisms for mental disease like psychopathy, which contributes to serial killers. Absolutely, absolutely, you're a worse person because of that. Blah, 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 more bitching and whining. There are some fair criticisms, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. More than that, I personally don't like slipping around videos during reactions because it leaves space to remove. Like, I don't even know what the hell. Okay, here we go. Also, also saying you're politically incorrect is a big red flag because being politically correct is actually being a respectful person. So that this idiot is so unoriginal. It actually steals arguments made by liberal people. So some people were pointing out that some other people pointing out racists were being racist, and the racists would then bitch and complain, saying, "Oh, I'm just being politically incorrect. We live in a PC society and stuff like that." And the liberals would respond to these racists by saying, using this argument that being politically correct is actually being a respectful person or something similar to that. So, what this autistic person is doing is that he is so unoriginal and can't think of a single original argument to make that he just steals arguments that liberals make and then recontextualizes those comebacks without the proper context. So clearly, autistic people lack the kind of creativity and originality in formulating cogent arguments because they just steal arguments that they hear from smarter people than them without understanding the proper context. And here he just bitches more. 0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend and didn't want to give any engagement by commenting. Thanks, by the way, you fucking moron. Yeah, 0 out of 10 for your comment, I would say. You are a bitchy, whiny narcissist, and at best, at worst, you're one who defends murderers of children and serial killers. So I just wanted to highlight this sack of shit because people like this are just disgusting. They're disgusting human beings that rob any kind of sympathy that I would normally have for disadvantaged people. Like when you have autistic people who make all autistic people look bad, I think other autistic people should come out and speak out against scumbags like this, okay? Because it does nothing but rob you of any kind of sympathy or pity that you might have had, and you depend on that pity. Because unlike what this moron is saying, it is not normal to accommodate autistic people. You do need special needs. And those special needs are only contingent upon whether or not you're pieces of shit or not. Okay? And if you're going to act like a little brat, a narcissistic brat that feels entitled, that everyone needs to cater to your disability when you're the one who's deficient, then you rob yourself of any pity or remorse that I normally would have had. And it just makes me spiteful and resentful of how entitled you feel you are. Luckily for you, I do not believe that all autistic people are as scummy as this individual is. Autistic people generalize others all the fucking time. They generalize people all the fucking time, but I'm unwilling to do that because that's weakness. I don't think all autistic people are like this. But there are some commonalities that they do share that needs to be pointed out and we need to confront. And one of the most important things is that it is not normal. Okay? So things like respecting and trying to treat you with kid gloves, those gloves are off now. Okay? Because when you act like this guy, you rob yourself of any kind of sympathy that you normally would have had. There's other comments that some dumb people made, but this video is going on for a little bit too long, and I might make more videos highlighting other scummy people like this and pointing out their really, really bad arguments. Because if I don't, who's going to do it, right? Autistic people are trying to normalize autism, and that is a big mistake. That is a big mistake. We should never normalize that which is not normal. Okay? I agree that autistic people should not be bullied, they should not be harassed, but trying to normalize autism as a reaction to people who do that is not the solution. Okay, lying and gaslighting and trying to say that murdering kids is okay, we need to have more people with mental diseases, sociopathy, psychopathy, we need to have more serial killers in society. That's not the solution. Those kinds of stupid, bad arguments that are totally immoral and bullshitty is not the way you combat bullying autistic people. You confront that behavior directly. You don't lie and say that autism is normal when it is not. That's all I gotta say, dudes. I'm out.